All right, we're going to talk about being selfish in this game. And I'm going to tell you right now, when I go through these different topics, it's always something that I've experienced that is prompting me to want to talk about something. And it's super hard to not vent about the stuff that annoys me with these situations at times. So I'm going to do my best. I want you to remember as a source player that it is okay to have your own self best interests at heart. But as a source player, there should be no reason where you are treading upon another person, source player or non source player. There should be no reason that you are doing something detrimental to another person to have your own self best interests at heart. Okay. It's a matter of you have to think about yourself, your choices, your game. And that means you're making the best, most beneficial choices that you can make for yourself so that your game can be the best it can be. And that you don't get sucked into things like political stuff or, you know, charities or just like, like those things that are designed to pull your heartstrings and distract you and make you contribute to things that are detrimental, that are not, or rather not beneficial. Okay. So there's that. There's also this thing where if you are in, I want you to also remember that as you go through your day, as you get higher up in your frequency, as you clear things out of your subconscious, as you get familiar with identifying stuff within yourself, you don't always have to do the subconscious stuff in the silence, because there will be times where it is evident to you in your waking state of mind as you're just going day to day through life, where things will crop up and you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm having these experiences. I'm having several experiences about certain things or certain topic that just keeps kind of coming up, and it's bubbling and it's bubbling and it's bubbling. And that stuff bubbling up to the surface is coming out. It's the distilling, right, of your shadow. Your shadow is presenting itself. And your environment is the reflection of you. Your environment is the reflection of you. That means the people that you're interacting with and how they're behaving and what you're observing about their behavior, the part that you're focusing on. Okay? The parts that you're focusing on about their behavior, and how are you focusing on it? Are you focusing on it negatively? Are you seeing traits in this person that you don't like and you're judging it and you're experiencing thoughts about them, right? You may be experiencing judgmental thoughts about them. That is an indication. Those thoughts exist within you. They're not existing outside in a bubble, in a thought bubble over your head where other people can see them. That thought is only existing inside you. Only you are thinking it, only you are hearing it in your head, right? So that means that that thing that you're having those thoughts about is existing in you. And the matrix is playing that out in front of you, and it's using whatever person or persons that it has available in any given moment or environment. Aw, the puppers is having a dream. He's doing his little, he's in deep dream. Anyway, I digress. It's using those things in your environment, readily available in your environment, to give you what is going on inside of you. It's manifesting the subconscious in front of you. And you're judging it because it's coming out of another person's mouth or out of their behavior. But that's in you. So you have to identify that. You have to be observant enough to, why am I having repetitive thoughts of the same vein about a particular person or persons? Like over I don't know, some stuff that's going on or whatever like that, and really examine that. And also have you're going to get to a point where as you're living life day to day, you're going to get good at observing yourself, observing your thoughts, checking in with yourself, observing your thoughts, observing your actions as you're interacting with others in any given moment, and also observing them, and also kind of knowing, if you're dealing with people that you know for quite a long time, if they're not on their journey, if they are source players and they're not on their journey, you can pretty much predict them just the way you can predict a soulless one. As long as you know the program, you know what's programmed in them, you know? And maybe you're not as astute at identifying certain things within people, but you'll see over time, people will reveal themselves to you. And it's going to stay consistent because they're not conscious. They're in lower frequencies and they're doing things. They're fully within their program. The program is dictating everything. And so you can start to see, okay, I know how this person's going to react and I know it's not going to be any different. So I'm going to not waste my breath on something. I'm just going to observe. I'm going to observe my thoughts. I'm going to observe people's actions. I'm going to observe people's words and how their words are coming out of their mouths and other things that they're doing, and really identifying a lot. It really does become a game, because it becomes apparent to you that you are playing chess. And I don't mean it like, oh, I'm playing chess and everybody's playing checkers. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that with chess is not just something where you're making a move for the sake of making a move. You are observing the board, and you know what every piece on that board is capable of. And every piece is only capable of what they are capable of, right? So what do I mean? A pawn can only move either one space forward or two spaces forward, or is it one space diagonally in either direction, right? That's all a pawn can do. They can't move backwards. They can't move side to side. That's all a pawn can do. You look at a knight can only jump two ahead and one over in an L shape, right? And what can a bishop do? Can only go diagonally at any point in the board. If he's on the white squares, he can only go diagonally on the white squares. If he's on the black squares, only diagonally on the black squares, given where he is. And you get the whole gist. It becomes more clear as you start to look at this stuff. And I know this was really about selfishness, but it is, because I'm telling you to, you will start to become more aware of everything. You'll become more aware of yourself. Even when you think like you know yourself pretty well, you will still observe yourself. You'll observe how you're thinking, how you are responding or reacting, and you will have the ability to assess the whole room, so to speak. Right? So look at it. And if you see something that you're finding undesirable in a person, and they're embodying it around you, that is your subconscious playing that out for you, showing you that. And you have to accept that about yourself. You have to acknowledge that that is you, even though that the person acting like that doesn't look like you. But you know that behavior is you. And you're having those thoughts about yourself. You're having those thoughts about some aspect of yourself that you don't like. But you're projecting it out. And so you can you can conveniently overlook this undesirable aspect of yourself and think that you're perfect. No. But to get back to being selfish, yes, you have to be selfish enough to tune out other things. And you have to be selfish enough to know that more than anything in your life, at the point that you had been given the information about what this life is, and that you are a source player, and that this game exists because you do, then you have to be fully, excuse me, fully accepting of that, and that you're not going to permit other outside influences to derail you. Okay? And that you are only responsible for you. And I know that, like moms, well, they have kids they're raising, and that moms will self-sacrifice. But there is this thing where, they'll tell you, if you're going down in a sinking boat, you put your life preserver on first. You put your life vest on first, and then you worry about who you can help from drowning, because you have the safety equipment on, right? You have the life preserving equipment on. You can't help somebody if you're in the same exact boat that they're in, right? You have to have self-preservation first and foremost. You have to. You have to do what is best for you. You have to honor yourself. Because if you don't, and you repress something about yourself, you're gonna witness it in front of you again. And you're gonna realize, okay, well, I haven't fully cleaned house. And I gotta get to it. And that's it. But everything that I've just mentioned, it's really just understanding that your environment, which has been said to you over and over and over and over and over again by Quartz Crystal, that your environment is a reflection of you. And that may not hit home for you. It may still not have hit home for you. But your outside environment is a reflection of what is going on inside of you. And it is okay to be selfish. Okay? It's okay to be selfish. And you may repress that selfishness because you may come up against people who are not pleased that you're behaving in a way that is only serving yourself. Right? I'm talking about adults. I'm not talking about your children. I'm talking about adults. Many adults may not like that you are A, only thinking about yourself, B, getting the things you want. Okay? C, going for what you want. What I mean? All these different things. And people will act funny if they see, well, you're getting ahead because you're being selfish. There's something about that they don't like. You have to be steadfast. You have to be strong in your determination and in your resolution, that you're not going to let what other people think about you, dictate you and what you do. So ultimately, you're going to have to be selfish. And if you are having negative thoughts about somebody else who's selfish, you have to make terms. You have to make peace with that about yourself and be that. I'm not saying be repugnant. I'm not saying be greedy, but I'm saying acknowledge that it's there. If you're experiencing it, and you're seeing it, and you're judging it, acknowledge that it's there in you and then integrate it and be okay with it. And be like, you know what? It's okay to think about myself because really, that's the only person I can think about. Right? Even if you have kids, you got to think about you. You can't be depleted and take care of other people. You can't do it. It's physically impossible. So, anyway, on that note, I'm going to leave with that. And I'm going to go wrap up the night. All right. Take care. Have a good one.